Okay, welcome to the pattern tutorial for your 4-directional punch-in, SAJU RIGI number 1 with the low block. There are different SAJU RIGIs, but we just do SAJU number 1 for your grading, which is why we don't do any of the others in this tutorial, just SAJU RIGI number 1. Okay, so SAJU RIGI number 1 starts in parallel ready stance with your left hand raised. If you're a blue belt and above, you don't raise your left hand, you would raise your left hand as you move. But for beginners and blue belts and below, raise your left hand and put your right hand on your belt. Okay, you're going to step your right foot forward. So basically how I remember it is if my left hand is up, it means this side of my body's busy and this side of my body is going to move. Okay, so I'm going to walk my right leg forwards and punch into walking stance. And I'm punching midsection. Ready, you pull back halfway onto the ball of your foot and pull your hand back, look at your watch. From on top, twist and face your opponent. Ready? And if you're a high grade, you should have a slight backward movement on the blocks. I'm not going to mention that every time because this is mostly for beginners. So for beginners, I'm happy with your hand just on top. Blue belts and above, you should be with the backwards movement before you block. Okay, so drive your heel back and show me a low block. Now you should have a slight bend on your arm in a low block. So if I do it from the front, you should have a slight, number one, it comes across like a hammer. So it doesn't come across the front of your body. It kind of comes across and down as if you're doing it with like a hammer fist on top of the ankle. Okay, so when you're doing your low block, don't come across. Okay, you kind of come across and down diagonally as if you're coming across on the ankle bone. And it's one fist width gap higher than your knee. Okay, so we'll start again just to keep it nice and smooth. So we raise your left in parallel ready stance. This hand's up, so this side of my body is busy, so this side of my body is moving. So walk your right leg forwards and punch. Pull back halfway and pull your hand back, look at your watch. From on top, twist, drive your heel back, low block. Ready? As you walk forwards, you want to set up the reaction force. So as you walk forwards, raise your hand, forwards and punch. Pull back halfway onto the ball of your foot and pull your hand back. From on top, back to back. Again, high grades with a backward movement. Twist, drive your heel back, low block. Raise your hand to set up the reaction force as you walk forwards and punch. All in walking stance. Pull back halfway, look at your watch. From on top, again with the backward movement. Twist, drive your heel back, low block like a hammer. Ready, as you walk forwards, raise your hand to set up the reaction force, forwards and punch. Okay, there are 7 moves in 4-directional punching, so that's the first half. So then my right foot, the foot I finished with, comes back to the center in one step, and I keep my right hand up. Okay, so again, this hand's punching, so this side of my body's busy, so this side's going to move. So for the second half, I'm going to step my left leg forwards and punch. 1. Ready, pull back halfway, pulling my hand back to my ear. Try not to come across your body like a lot of beginners do. Come back to your ear. From on top, twist, and with a slight backwards movement, low block. As you walk forward, set up the reaction force and punch. Pull back halfway and pull your hand back. From on top, twist. With a slight backwards movement on your arm, slide your heel back and low block to the back. Ready? Raise your hand up to set up the reaction force as you walk forwards and punch. Pull back halfway onto the ball of your foot. Pull your hand back from on top. Twist. With a slight backward movement on your hand. Drive your heel back, low block. And set up the reaction force as you walk forwards and punch. So that's 7 moves in this direction. So that's the end of the pattern. So you would bring your left foot back to ready stance in a nice, smooth motion. Okay, so that's SAJU RIGI number 1. So again, we're looking to see if you know low blocks come from on top. We're looking to see if you raise your hand to set up the reaction force before a punch. And we're looking to see if you've mastered a walking stance and a parallel ready stance. Okay, so we'll move on to the next pattern, which is Chonji.